what's up, all you cool cats and kittens? Welcome to these Corona times. I couldn't resist. I had to start with the cats and kittens. Welcome to our vidcast, our video podcast, where we're going to be discussing how coronavirus is impacting us. We'll kind of get to particulars later about what's going to go into the podcast. But for now, I'm one of your co-hosts. My name is Tiffany. That's Simone. And that's Brandon.
Yo!
And I'll let them each introduce themselves. So Simone, you can go first.
Hey, I'm Simone Bruce. I'm a doctoral intern, and I am, I don't know, what am I supposed to say?
What did you do before the apocalypse?
I'm in Charlotte, and I'm completing my doctorate degree in clinical psychology.
And are you married with children?
Am I going to say that?
You can say that. That's fine.
I am married with one child.
All right, Brandon.
What up, everybody? I am a health educator for Medicaid. So I'm not on the front line of anything COVID-19 related. I'm more on the back end with supporting some of our COVID-19 members and patients, this, that, and the other, making sure that they're doing or have everything that they need. I'm also a personal trainer and health coach. Married with 2 kids, and anniversary's coming up in 3 days. Probably.
How many years, Brand? How many years?
This will be year number 7.
Hey.
Wow.
Year number 7. Yes.
That's what's up.
Need to get on Amazon.
Right after this.
Right
I
after.
don't know for Amazon.
All right, and my name is Tiffany. I'm 36. Prior to the coronavirus apocalypse, I was working actively in my health sciences library for the University of Louisville. I'm a health collections and development librarian. Also married for working on the 2 years. And we are currently enjoying coronavirus together without killing each other. Amen. Hallelujah.
Tiff, one of these days, I'm going to really sit down with you and actually talk about your career, because if anyone is like me, the only type of librarian I knew or I know of, or is the people collecting books.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they collect books. They have that cart that's rolling around, and that's all they do. They put the books back. They check me out at the little register. They collect my fine money because I'm always late with my books.
And they tell you to be quiet.
And they tell you to be quiet all the time. And before you did all this, I had absolutely no idea there were different types of librarians. I didn't even know there was a thing called library science.
Right.
But when you go into what you do, it totally makes sense why it would be a whole science behind it, because hundreds of thousands of books and documents and digital stuff. I get it, but it's just you would not even have thought maybe one of these things. I'm getting way ahead. I'm talking too much already. Is you just go into random fields that we don't know. I never grew up knowing what that existed. Ever.
Yeah. I could almost say the same for both of you all, because I know what a psychologist is. I don't know the route to get there. So I feel like I've been on this doctorate journey with Simone, and therefore I'm going to share her degree with her when she finishes.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely a doctor.
I was going to say, I've been trying to figure out the Dewey Decimal System.
For years. A long time.
Asking people, please explain to me the Dewey Decimal System. I still don't understand.
I'm going to give you a class. We're going to talk about the Dewey Decimal and Boolean searching. We'll do that.
I actually managed to introduce myself without telling people what I actually do, because people don't know what a doctoral intern is. So
right.
I don't know if I said this, but I said I'm a doctoral intern getting my doctorate degree in clinical psychology. So hopefully we'll see, graduation's canceled, of course. So
thank you, Corona.
Thank you, Corona.
Right, because of Corona, with the doctorate degree in clinical psychology. So I don't remember if I said that. I can't remember.
It's all good.
Yeah. So what is our podcast about? How did this come to be, and why do we think we are sufficient enough to make a podcast? I would say I'll kind of start and I'll let my friends jump in. This just kind of randomly came together. We talk
Like
pretty
this week.
much, yeah, like this week. Like we talk pretty much just about every day and just kind of sharing our own Corona struggles. And we're all in different places. You know, Simone's got one child, Brandon's got two, I've got none. So we all have different testimonies. So it's just like, well, we've been sharing our experiences. I just wonder how many other people are going through similar things or could maybe even just benefit from this fun and educational outlet. So for me, just thinking, this was Simone's idea, by the way. Let me put this on record. This was Simone's idea.
Tonight, one of the late night Marco Polos when Brandon thought I was lost in the sauce. I was not. I was just talking.
Yeah.
Could have fooled me.
Something. And and then we started talking about it because I think collectively, you know, the country is dealing with this, but individually our experiences have been just very different, and it's just hit me in a lot of ways that I didn't expect. And so we thought about how normalizing it would be to talk about this on this platform, just to give people, you know, a chance to see how it's impacted us, give them a chance to talk about how it's impacted them. So we just thought it was really important to do this.
I definitely go with that. And, you know, I think coming from my end, you know, being in the health and wellness field, you see a lot of people, in my opinion, faking it. Like, oh, you need to be gaining a new hobby and a new skill, and you need to be doing X, Y, Z. And for those that can do that, most definitely go ahead. Use this time, if you're able to, use this time to brush up on a new hobby, to perfect something, to maybe launch that business, or, you know, whatever you want to do. That's perfectly fine. But for a lot of people, man, when you're struggling and, you know, you go from, you know, working outside of the home to all of a sudden there are 2 and 3 people that are working. You know, you have parents that are still working and you still have to make sure their kids are doing their schoolwork, and you still gotta, you know, fix all the food, you still gotta do this. It's a struggle for a whole lot of people. And you have some people that are saying, oh, well, if you're not getting a new skill or developing something, then you're slacking. It's not like you didn't have enough time, you're just not motivated.
Right.
And then it's like, bro, we're trying to survive here. Like, this is something we've never dealt with before. Like, no. And some people are really putting a lot of pressure on themselves to do that extra thing. And it's like, it's fine that you're struggling. It's perfectly fine to struggle. It's perfectly fine that you don't know what's going on. It's perfectly fine that, you know, that it's perfectly fine that you just don't know. There's so much unknown. And so hopefully we can help normalize. I don't know. And the I'm not okay, or I'm struggling, you know, type mindset.
Yeah.
I think what you're talking about, I hear a lot in my circle, but it's kind of that shaming piece of, you know, we should be thankful because we have this, and this. You know, maybe you're still able to work, and maybe you're with your family. You should be thankful for this, and you should be doing this and that. And there are things to be thankful for, but there are some real losses that are happening to people every single day. And it's okay to acknowledge that. I think you can acknowledge both. Like, you can acknowledge the losses, and you can acknowledge the pieces that you know you can be grateful for. And for me, I just didn't expect it to hit me the way that it hit me, and to hit my family in the way, like, to have to shift the way that we have. So and in my business in psychology, we've seen you know, a huge increase in anxiety, depression. You know, isolation is like the worst thing for depression. And there's so much of that going on right now because you have to be in the house. You have to be quarantined, or that's the recommendation, right? And so there's just been a lot of
at home
help. What did you
Healthy
say?
at home.
Healthy at home.
Healthy at home. A lot of people just, it's not a thing. So you're right. We have to acknowledge the losses and not shame folks for their experience.
Yeah. And then speaking to what Brandon said, like the whole pressure to come out of this with a new hobby or something like that, that's not really where I'm at with it. But this is something that I won't say it doesn't take a lot of effort, because it does take a little bit of effort to make it happen, but it's not something outside of our wheelhouses. We talk all the time anyway. So why not record that talk and share it with other people? So I guess going down that road, letting you know what to look forward to in this podcast. So
it feels important to say that we're really deliberate about making sure that this looks real. Yeah. And that we show up in a similar way to how it is when we're like living life every day. We're not polished, not trying to look professional. Like this is my office right now. This is how I work when I do therapy every day. This is where I'm at. And so it feels important to just be authentic with it, and
we're not dressed up.
No shirt and ties over here.
No. Just be thankful we have on pants. Everybody's got on pants.
I do have on pants.
You don't know that. Don't.
For now.
But for me, this is a part of the coping for me. I don't know what this has been like, what this will be for y'all, or what it is for you all. But us talking on Marco Polo and staying connected in other ways is a coping thing for me, to stay connected, because I did move away a little less than a year ago, and I felt disconnected anyway. So this has been really helpful, and I hope that this will just be another piece of like coping and self-care for me.
For those that, of course, since most of you all don't know us, or anybody that's listening probably doesn't know us, we're not just three random people. We've known each other I've known these two for the last 21 years. Wow. 22 years, and they've known each other a lot longer. I moved to Louisville, Kentucky in 99. Was it 98?
98.
It was 98. Yeah, it was 98, because I was here for the 98-99 school year. Mm-hmm. So, here in 98, so it's 22 years that I've been in Louisville. And, these two, we're all in the same age group. We all grew up together. We've been over each other's homes. We have eaten at each other's tables. We have gone on many a trip together.
Brandon has driven us down the street
with no street lights.
I have driven down one-way streets with them in my car. I have driven them in my and have turned the headlights off and have been speeding.
It really happened.
Types of ridiculousness. How are we alive?
By God's grace. God's grace. But yeah, to Brandon's point, we are a very good group of friends, and church brings us together. Yep. And Simone decided to further herself and move away from us. So we've been keeping in contact with her via Marco Polo just before all Corona, just to stay connected, period. Which was a great way to video chat, plugging for Marco Polo right now, which is a great way to video chat and stay connected to each other. But from that, we now have this. So this is kind of like a natural conversation for us. So we hope to be inviting you in as we continue this vidcast. We want to have guests on. We want to be able to talk about issues branching into the mental, the physical, financial, the religious aspects of this, how it's impacted churches and ministers and that regard. Am I missing anything? Anybody else?
No, that
covers it. I can think of. I know we're going to try, like you kind of spoke to, we're going to have themes for each topic or for each episode. And so I know today we really want to focus on how we're doing, how we were when we like this first happened and the progression with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, most definitely.
So
who wants to go first?
Kind of a comparing like pre-March versus now. It really started going down like right at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but my phone, I keep getting all these, updates. I mean, I did not ask for these updates, but I work, at a college counseling center. So I'm sitting at my computer, I'm getting just, my phone's going off, coronavirus. I'm like, what is this? And I wasn't taking it seriously at all. We have, I do individual, I do group therapy. We were told like, okay, well just go ahead and kind of tell your people that there might be some disruption in services. But we thought we'd all be there. Like, did not take it seriously.
Yeah. It went from 0 to 100 real quick.
Yeah.
The week that coronavirus impacted the city directly was my birthday. And actually, the day of my birthday, we went to working remotely from home.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, oh, it's nothing. Oh, it's in some places. And then all of a sudden, U of L is doing everything online. We're just take your stuff. Don't come back tomorrow. Like, it just went so quickly. It literally was like, when you leave today, make sure you have enough stuff for the rest of the week. Don't come back. But it went from like, you know, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that. It was kind of sad. I even joked like, you know, I'm young, if I get corona, I'll be fine. You know, I'm young and healthy.
Yeah.
I'll be okay. I probably already had it. It's good. And then like, as we start to go weeks and weeks in, I'm just like, I don't want corona, like not by jokingly or any means, you know, and it's just gotten very real. We've had not direct links, but I've had people maybe 2 or 3 degrees of separation from me that have had corona, or I've known a family that has lost somebody from corona now.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's so weird that we're here like 7-8 weeks in and people are still like, it's not real. And, you know, this is a fake. I'm like, people are really dying from coronavirus.
Like,
So.
for real.
Yeah.
And going back to that 0 to 60, I was in California the end of February, and everything was for the most part chill out there. Mm-hmm. And you know, I went out to California. I was out in San Jose, Oakland, and San Francisco, and everything was pretty cool. You know, we went out for my cousin's birthday, hung out, ate, chilled. Yeah, you see some corona stuff. I get on the plane. This was on, I want to say, February 27th. And then San Francisco is at a state of emergency, like, while I'm on the plane. Mm-hmm. And to come back to Louisville. And then it was like, oh, maybe it's kind of serious. But not even thinking a whole lot, because I'm like, man, it's California. That's one of the biggest states in the country. It's fine. It's all the way over there. Get back to Louisville. You know, there's not a whole lot. You know, I'm still able to go to the gym. I'm still doing hospital visits here and there. And then, like I said, like 2 weeks later, none.
Yeah. Nothing.
Don't do this. Don't do that. Stay home.
Yeah.
That reminds me of what happened. So right when it hit, my mom was actually visiting. So the day that she left was like one of the first days I'd heard about it. And so y'all know what my mom looks like. Legit, she always, whenever she gets stopped for a speeding ticket, which is often, they will put Asian. And at the time, it was seriously,
that's
always.
Crazy.
Really?
Always.
Yes. Yeah.
Her eyes, her complexion, I don't know what it is, but she
I guess I could see that. I guess.
Kind of looks Asian, I guess. So I was really worried about, because at that point, it was, you know, Wuhan. Like, it wasn't really over here yet.
Yeah.
Talking about it, but it was really a China thing at that point. She had a cold. She was coughing and sneezing, and I was really worried about her getting on the plane because of the racism that we know happens. And so I was really concerned about her getting on the plane and being able to get back home safely. And then after she got home, like, that's when it just started to kind of what's the word? Just steamroll ahead.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So what's been the biggest adjustment being home so far? Like, for me, I was going to say it's the working from home part, because I know, Brandon, your job allows you to work from home 6 days a week already. So you were kind of already ready for this.
Yep.
But for me, it's been that working from home part. Like, we don't have an office space. So, and we are very communal here in my home. And we have before this, we had very different schedules. So, you know, Joel's a night owl. And I'm kind of like a 9 to 5 just because of my job situation now. If I didn't have to be, I'd work more of a 12 to 8 situation because I like to sleep late. But trying to find like the space to work from home, and then not just finding a place where I could be for 6 to 8 hours, and also making the space comfortable. And then also creating boundaries. So like for me, the hardest part was like being off when I was actually off. Like I know a few nights I was still answering emails at like 11 o'clock, midnight, 1 a.m, just because I'm still sitting here and I'm in front of my computer. So I think the hardest part for me has been like making work from home work, and then also putting in place boundaries for that.
We don't have enough time to talk about my adjustment. I don't even know where to start. Like everything. So my husband already works from home, so his office is in our living room, off like in a nook. So he was already good. Like we joke, he's been self-quarantining since we got here. He's been social distancing since we got here. So it didn't really bother him. And he's a very quiet, laid back person. So
yes, Sean is.
Yeah, he really wasn't tripping. Me, I go to work. Like I always thought like, oh, I would love to work from home. That'd be awesome. Not the case.
I was the same way.
Go into the office. I even thought like the day that they shut us down, they were like, don't come back in the office after Friday. I was like emailing, can I still come in and just and just go in my office? And they were like, no, Simone, you cannot do that. So having to work in our bedroom, lock the door, our son's outside trying to learn. He's 4. Brandon's wife had to talk me down off of the ledge because she was like, your child's 4. He's not going to be in like doing academics for 8 hours. It's not going to happen. So just trying to adjust my expectation with that. Like it has been crazy. And then of course I still see my clients. So trying to be there for them. And oftentimes when people are going through a trauma, because that's kind of like what this is, everybody's kind of going through like a little trauma. Usually you're not going through the same thing as your client, like you're not managing the same stressor.
Right.
And I am. So it's like, I'm trying to help you, but I need help too. So it's like, it's been quite an adjustment, and I think I'm getting there, but every day I'm learning. Every day is different. Some days I feel better, and the other days I'm just not okay. So.
And that's key. I don't think there's any one thing that's going to make every day great. Every day is literally a new day. My mood is different. So like the both of them have said, I work from home. So my job, I work from home already for my main job as a health educator. But my second job is a personal trainer, health coach, and I'm out. So I am a extrovert to the fullest. I love people. I love hugs. I love dapping people up. I love everything. Like I get my energy from being around people. That's my thing. And those two are laughing at me because they know that is definitely the truth.
The thing.
And so while I was my job is mostly self-isolating in itself, because I do work in the gym and I'm able to get out with that part, I'm able to get that extrovert and that people energy that way. And so now I am just completely in. And it's like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen my clients in person in, 6 weeks. Like, man, I haven't, been able to hug my mom in 6 weeks. There's so many things that I can't do. And for an extrovert like myself, that's been very rough. And then couple that with, my wife, she's working from home as well. So she's working from home. I have my daughter who's 6. She is doing schoolwork still. And my son, who is 2, he'll be 3 at the end of the month. We're trying not to have him watch TV all day, but you try to teach him something too, right? So all of those things. So I've had to like manage my expectations as far as like how my workday is going to go. I used to try to start my workday 9, 10-ish, and then work until whenever. But now I have to push those days. I have to push those days out a little bit, push those times out just a little bit more. I have to some days work a little bit later because, you got to spend time with your kids as well. So trying to stop work around 4 or 5 o'clock unless I'm on a roll, spend time with them. And then after they go to bed, do more work. And then I guess try to find some time to spend with your spouse. So, try to figure all that stuff in. And while I do like working from home because of all the flexibility, now because everything is centered around the home, it almost feels like home is a prison. and the walls are just closing in a little bit, because, you know, if I go upstairs, my wife might be on a Zoom meeting herself. You know, if I come back downstairs, my son might be needing me to do X, Y, Z. Go back upstairs, my daughter may need some work, and they help with some of her work. Then I come back to the office, and I got to start making phone calls to my patients and my clients. And
There's no escape.
It's like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Gym is closed, you know. I can't escape for my hour and a half in this. So it's like, what am I doing here? I'm dying.
And then there's so many pieces, like the psychological, mental, the social. You know, I'm obviously new in North Carolina, so I don't have a lot of friends, but I was surprised to see, you know, how much I would miss my coworkers. So as an intern, I have a cohort. So there's 3 of us, and I'm probably not going to get to see them before they have to leave. One is going to be going back to Texas, and the other one, I'm not sure where she's going, but you really do like form a bond with folks. And that's just kind of, I mean, it's not over, but it's just different. You know, I think about all the ways in which we missed opportunities to hang out. Even with church, we missed opportunities to go to church because we wanted to have a bedside Baptist day, which, hey, they're all bedside Baptist Sabbaths now.
Pastor Pillow be getting that good sermon.
Man, Celia and Posturepedic, the ushers.
but you know, that's also a good point though. What this thing has taught me, and I may be jumping ahead.
You are.
I do that from time to time. This has definitely made me appreciate outside, and like you all said, you're like, man, I should have went to such and such event, or man, I should have hung out with so and so. Like, I think when our we're able to go out a little bit more, I think I'm going to figure out how to see people more often and really enjoy, and not just say, nah, I don't want to do that because I'm tired. Well, you know what? For like 6 weeks, I wanted to get outside. Now, when outside opens back up, I'm good. I'm out there.
Just standing outside.
That's
how outside opens up. As soon as I get the signal, outside's open.
Coming outside.
Touching everybody.
Yes.
I ain't doing that.
Hello. How are you?
Sir, I just noticed you have a really nice hat on today.
Talking to all the strangers. I feel that because I work out, but not as much as Brandon works out. So I'm kind of in between here. Yeah, Simone is the not work out. Brandon is the works out extremely. And I'm kind of in the middle of, you know, the both of them. So I kind of got to the point where like, oh, I got to go to the gym. Oh, man. Do you know now I will beat down the door to the gym when they open it? I am so ready to go. Just because the gym, I didn't realize it. It wasn't just like exercise or something to do. It's a stress reliever. And it's also another opportunity to fellowship with other people. And I really miss that. You know, don't get me wrong, being with home with my husband is great, but it's like I haven't seen or touched or talked to like physically in person other people in what feels like forever. So it'll be awesome.
I was listening to a podcast. It was a podcast on marriage, and one of the ladies that was on one of the ladies that was on the podcast, this is an NPR one. It's called the Hidden Brain Podcast. It's a really good podcast, and they did a thing on marriage. And one of the things what they were talking about was we went from when we were single, we had a village. When we were single, we had people that we call, hey, I got my going out to the club people. I'm gonna call you about X amount of thing people. I had my people out my reading group. I had all different types of people. And then once you get married, in a lot of cases, you expect that one person to be all of that. And it was like, that's one reasons why marriage is suffering. And I think we're seeing a little bit of that right now because our spouses or significant others are not everything. They're the person that we talk to about everything. We see them 24/7 now. They have become our everything. And frankly, sometimes we just get tired of seeing them.
He is an awesome, he is a wonderful man. I love him. But I have always valued, and Tiffany knows this about me, I've always valued my space. I need my space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because I'm an only child. I don't know what it is, but I love people, you know, but I get to a place where I'm like, okay, I need you to go here and I need to go here and I just need silence. And the silence is gone because Caden isn't in school no more. I don't get that drive because Caden, his school's like an hour away. I wouldn't give anything to drive that drive. If they said school was open tomorrow, I would drive him twice. Back and forth.
Both ways.
I mean, it really made me be creative about how I get my me time because I need it. It's restorative. And I know my husband can't be all the things. So that's why I need you to. I need my other friends. I just need that input in other ways. And he's totally different. My husband he doesn't understand me and like the way I am with this.
Yeah.
I'm Sean. Yeah. And you are Joelle.
What's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't understand why you're not bothered.
Yeah, my wife understands it. You know, she, because I've been, you know, for lack of a better, I've been moody during this time because, again, I'm not getting that energy that I normally would get, you know, being in crowds and everything like that. And my daughter, she's the same way. Like, she's become very moody as well. And we're both we love being out and not being able, you know, schools are shut down, so she's not getting that. Like she lights up when she sees her friends like on the computer and whatnot. So I'm glad she's able to do that. But she's become more moody, and you know, it's tough as a parent because you're trying to separate. You being really disrespectful right now, or are you just suffering a little bit because of what's going on? And you kind of have to try to balance, you know, that out because I try and I feel for because I'm moody and I'm short. My temper has been a little bit shorter, and so yeah, that's crazy out here.
God bless our spouses. Just
yes,
bless them. Yeah, and I'm an inside
bless
person.
Them, bless us.
But us too. I am an inside person, and I'm not really so much bothered. I think I said this in the polo. Like it was like a good solid week where I did not go outside during Corona, and I was totally fine. But my husband was like, just every day, you need to go outside. You know, let's take a break. Let's turn off the computer. Let's go for a walk. And he needs to be outside. He's an introverted extrovert. But he does not like, he's like Brandon. He needs to see other people. He likes to hug people. He wants to be around others. So this, like, not being able to go somewhere and hug people is odd for him. It's just very restrictive for him. But I could sit on my spot in the couch. That's why I moved to a different location today, because I probably have burned a hole in my couch in that one section because I've just been real good and comfortable. Yes. With my U of L blanket behind me and everything. But I'm so like, just knowing that somebody else is like kind of looking out for you and saying, hey, you know, you make sure you get up today, make sure you go outside today, let's go for a walk. You're right, he can't be my everything, and we've really worked hard to make sure that we are not depending on each other to be each other's everything, which is why we both have that me time and our time. So, you know, and the polos, talking to you guys in the polos has helped, because it's still like, I still get to talk to my friends, you know, I still get to reach out and talk to other people. So that's been beneficial too.
So I know that we talked about time. We want to be respectful of everybody's time. And so we're going to try to keep these to, you know, an hour or less.
Plus the last dance is coming on soon. So
we got like 10 minutes.
Me and Brandon have to go.
Well, let's go. Okay.
You can stay on as long as you want, Simone.
We wanted to tell you about what's to come. We talked about a little bit earlier. We're going to have speakers. Next week, we're going to have, so we talked about like we are connected through church. So pastor's going to come and talk about the impact to, you know, church. It's actually my cousin. So we're going to have that. We have a lot of other folks. We're going to have a nurse who is on the front lines in New York come and talk to us. Maybe some good panel discussions about some controversial stuff. definitely going to talk about race and just a lot of really great stuff. But we wanted to kind of let y'all know what's to come. And we also want suggestions. So if there are things that you want us to talk about or things that you want to hear about or just questions about us, we definitely want to hear that. So I guess there'll be a chat box somewhere. I don't know. I'm not technological.
Just comment under the video.
See, the great thing about it, all three of us have worked together, through multiple programs. One program we had at our church was a health and wellness initiative. We kind of worked together with that. We all work very well together because we all know our strengths. We all know, and we don't step on each other's toes. We know that Tiff's got the tech. I got the reliability. I'm going to do what I'm told to do no matter what. Simone takes amazing notes. We just know.
We know what we're good at.
We know what we're good at. We know what we're not good at.
What you say, Simone?
I've been a secretary my whole life.
Secretary for everybody. We call Simone secretary to the stars. So as Simone said, under the video, which is coming out on YouTube, just write in the comment box beneath the video if you'd like to see different topics discussed, or if you have a suggestion, or if you have a question. And at the beginning of next week's episode, we will try to make sure we answer that question or speak to that comment that you made. And these will come out every Monday on YouTube. So we'll be on our personal social medias, we'll be sharing the link to them, but you will be able to find it here. For as long as Corona allows us, we will be here on YouTube.
Right. We didn't really hype up the name. These Corona times.
These Corona times.
That's the name, because thanks to Corona, we have this thing that we're doing. Mm-hmm. But I know we also talked about and we want to talk about something that we're going to commit to do to take care of ourselves before we go. I got nothing right now. Maybe one of y'all can go first, as I think.
I got something for me.
Go ahead.
I got me. It's rest. I'm gonna try to get more sleep, and so I have struggled a little bit with my work-life balance. There have been some nights where I've been charting and documenting and been up till 1 o'clock in the morning doing that. I am going to, because I'm getting up earlier. One of my things that I do is morning workouts. I get up early and do that. I do some videos every once in a while so I can share them on my fitness page and whatnot. Howard Power Fitness. Instagram and Facebook. That's a plug right there. That's a plug. I didn't even realize I was going to do that until just then. But I'm getting up earlier to do that so I'm not bothered by the kids. But I was still going to bed super late. And towards the end of the week, it was just killing me. So I am late last week. I started going to bed around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And it actually worked out really, really well. Obviously not doing that tonight because The Last Dance is on tonight, and I love me some Michael Jordan. So I am not going to bed on time tonight, but for the rest of the week, I am doing that. And I am also starting the MCU, the Marvel Comic Universe. I'm starting that from the very beginning. I just watched the first one, watched the first Iron Man today. And next up is The Incredible Hulk. So those are my two things.
Nice little line up there.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm trying to figure it out.
For me, I'm gonna do two things this week. So I'm gonna try to start and stop work when I actually say I'm going to. So I'm gonna keep my schedule. And when it's time to sign off, I'm gonna sign off, which means putting the computer away and not checking my email, because I'm really bad about that. So one thing I did last week, I saw another friend wrote that they did on Twitter. I took my work email off my phone because I'm really bad about, I'll play with my phone in the evening and I'll see emails from work, and then I'll open my computer up and go back to, because I feel like it can't wait. But the truth is those things can wait. They can wait till the next day. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to start and stop on when I say I'm going to, as far as my work schedule. I'm also going to commit to going outside 2 days this week. Okay. I'm going to go out. Just 2. Because, I don't like summer. I'm not a summer person. I don't like bugs. I don't like the outdoors. And there's nowhere for me to go. So I'm going to commit when Joel goes on the grocery run or whatever, I'll go out with him at least twice this week.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I think for me, I have a lot of guilt, like a lot of mommy guilt. So whenever I leave, Caden's like, I want to go. So I am going to try to push that aside and spend more time, you know, give myself 30 minutes by myself, maybe go out to the park, social distance. There's going to be some inside jokes in this thing, so I'm not going to know about it today. Read a little bit or just walk, listen to music. I think I'm going to try to push the guilt aside and like remind myself that I do a lot for him. I do as much as I can do, and that I have to take care of myself in that way. So I think that is what I will do. Take care of myself.
There you go. I like it.
Yeah. So I think we're right at our time. So we want to try to leave you guys each week with just a little piece of advice. So I think this week it's just stay sane in these corona times.
Stay safe in these corona times, folks. Stay safe and sane.
Yeah.
Stay sane and healthy. Wash your hands. Don't touch your face.
Don't touch
Don't touch your eyes. Don't do none of that.
Yes, and put on your mask.
Your mask. No.
All right, we'll see y'all next time.
See you next week.
Y'all next week.